Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Best Movies on Netflix This Week. We've got some really good movies and documentaries on Netflix to tell you about this week. Some of them are so good they're even worth watching a second time. Before I begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, follow, and comment on the show. Also, I'd like to tell you about HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a company which allows you to purchase live calls with your favorite celebrities and movie stars. The calls are $19.95 for a 15-second call, and they're $29.95 for a 30-second call. You can buy these calls as a gift for yourself or as a gift for somebody that you love. It's a lot of fun to receive a call from a star, and it's even more fun to watch your friend receive a call from a celebrity that you purchased from them. So give it a try. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now let's get started. The first movie we're going to discuss today is called Den of Thieves. This is a great heist movie starring Gerard Butler. He's a dirty cop in pursuit of even dirtier high-tech criminals. If you love movies like Heat starring Al Pacino or To Live and Die in LA starring Willem Dafoe, then you'll love Den of Thieves. Gerard Butler plays Nick Davis, a major crimes cop who runs a crew of corrupt cops that are willing to torture their suspects in order to get the information they need to solve their cases. The movie is very realistic, and Gerard is excellent as a bad cop in pursuit of even worse criminals. Shot in LA, it depicts the city at its best and at its worst. What elevates the movie is both the realism and the technological sophistication of the criminals they're chasing. Criminals that are both disciplined and murderers. The criminals got their military training in the armed forces, and now they employ that training on a regular basis to commit their crimes. All of this combines to make a great popcorn movie that is as fun as it is exciting to watch. The next movie is called End of Watch. This is a crime drama about LAPD officers. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena as cops who patrol the most dangerous parts of Los Angeles. While they may break the rules occasionally, it's still very apparent that these are men of character and integrity. At first, the movie chronicles their daily lives to let us get familiar with them. Then they encounter the Mexican cartel, at which point the movie takes an ugly turn into a violent roller coaster ride that you won't soon forget. All hell breaks loose for the officers when they run afoul of the vicious Mexican cartel. Gyllenhaal has appeared in a number of movies over the years, and in this movie he once again proves how good he can be as an actor. Without revealing too much in this movie, there are scenes featuring his personal life in which he interacts with his girlfriend that are really excellent. The co-stars in this movie also play a huge part in making it as appealing and likable as it is. I do have to caution you, though, that by saying that there are some scenes in this movie that are so hyper-violent that they may shake you up a little bit, but that's just the nature of the subject matter. The next movie is The Foreigner. The Foreigner is an action thriller movie starring Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. Chan plays a humble businessman named Kwan, who has a dark past and who launches into a revenge-fueled mission when his teenage daughter is taken from him in a terrorist act. What follows is a cat-and-mouse battle between Chan and the government because he's furious at how little help the government is giving him in his effort to capture the bad guys. One of the things I like about this movie is how Chan's character is both serious and capable. Many of his past movie roles have depicted him as a comedic buffoon, which is usually appropriate because he's making comedies. But in this case, he plays a character that is both serious and purposeful, and that makes the movie even more enjoyable. Our next movie is called The Crew. This is a really serious crime drama about a group of French thieves who are at their height in their professional worlds and at their lows in their personal worlds. And because of that, everybody's life gets placed in jeopardy. The team's leader is a bright and organized individual who carefully plans out every element of their jobs. When things go wrong, they're forced by another criminal to perform a job they really don't want to do. It's at that point that the personal lives of these men and their professional lives become very incendiary. What's refreshing about this movie is that it's set overseas, and it features the lives of men who are really good at what they do, yet somehow they're prone to really extremely bad judgment calls. One bad decision after another just hampers them. Highly skilled, bad judgment. Our next flick is a documentary. It's called Ronnie Coleman, The King. This is a documentary about the life of an extraordinary champion bodybuilder named Ronnie Coleman. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the world of bodybuilding, Ronnie Coleman is a humble police officer by day and a champion bodybuilder who has managed to build up his body to such an extraordinary size that he looks like a walking, talking special effect. I mean, he's enormous. Rather than being a real human being, Ronnie looks like he was created on a computer screen to look like a superhero. What's interesting about this documentary is how Ronnie's extraordinary achievements seem to be born of his modesty more than anything else. This is really a modest individual, humble. Another thing that's even more compelling than Ronnie's sports achievement is how he handles all the injuries in his life. Because he has lifted some incredibly and dangerously heavy weights, he has caused tremendous life-altering injuries to his back. This has caused him to have an ongoing series of back operations and therapy sessions that, quite miraculously, he never complains about. Not even once. And I don't get the feeling that he's not complaining just because there's a camera crew filming him. You get the distinct impression that Ronnie never complains about anything, no matter how bad things get. He seems like a guy who has been positive all his life and doesn't even possess the ability to complain or be negative about anything, no matter how bad things are. I watched in total amazement as his heavyweight lifting destroyed his back and caused him endless pain, yet he continues to smile as he talks about it. I think his incredible attitude is really what's made Ronnie Coleman one of the greatest bodybuilders and nicest human beings in the world. Now, the next film is actually another documentary, and it's called Fire, The Greatest Party That Never Happened. Fire was a music event / super party for rich trust fund kids that was supposed to take place on a secluded island once owned by Pablo Escobar. The event was going to be produced by Billy McFarland and as a self-professed event producer, and Billy is now in jail for his involvement in this massive fraud. The whole concept for this event was built around the idea of using social media to convince millennials to pay serious money to attend what was supposed to be a magical, tropical concert on an island in the middle of nowhere. McFarlane created a promotional video for the Fry Festival that was designed to sell the illusion. He hired Instagram models to frolic in the ocean and then promote it with all their social media news feeds. This led to a huge number of people buying tickets to this event for prices ranging from $500 to $12,000. Next comes the nightmare, as the documentary shows how the total lack of work, ability, skill, and preparation caused the entire event to collapse from the weight of its own fraud. McFarlane even hired a lot of the people on the island to work at the event, and that caused another storm. Why? Because he never paid many of them. If this documentary is about anything, it is about the triumph of lies over reality. It shows how easily trust fund kids with too much money and time on their hands can be deceived into believing the illusions that exist only in their minds. And it doesn't even have to be trust fund kids. It can be anybody who's not properly connected to the reality of the world around them. People who walk around in their own delusional states. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.